Hi there guys, my name's Craig and welcome to NSK TV. It is story time this evening with Ryland. Say hi, Ry.
Hi.
And Thea.
Hi.
Now, I know it's story time with Ryland, but would you guys mind if I read this story? Is that alright?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I don't know if we've got any fans of superheroes watching this. I know you guys are fans of superheroes.
Yeah.
This story is all about Spider-Man, and it's actually got a thing on the back of the book that tells you what's going to happen. Spider-Man's supervillain enemies have teamed up to start an epic battle with the web-slinging hero. Can Spider-Man stop the Sinister Six? Go, duh, duh, duh.
Duh, duh, duh.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually have a tattoo of Spider-Man on my arm, don't I?
I do.
Yeah, I know, right? Spider-Man tattoo. That's how much I love Spider-Man. So here we go. Spider-Man, Spidey Adventure Story.
So I know what's going
Oh,
on.
spoiler alert. Here we go. There's Spider-Man. Thea, say hello, Spider-Man.
Hello, Spider-Man.
Everybody at home, say hello, Spider-Man.
Daddy.
Yes.
I've got a Spider-Man costume.
I know you have.
I've got a Spider-Man backpack with loads of Spider-Man toys in it.
I know you have.
I lost my Spider-Man ribs.
This story could take a long time to tell, couldn't it? Spider-Man was tired but happy. The past few weeks had been exciting and very hard. Becoming Spider-Man was great. Fighting all those villains was not. At least things seem to be a little bit more quiet now. He hoped it would stay that way, but he knew it probably wouldn't. And he was right. Because across town, at this very moment, Spider-Man's worst enemies were about to meet. Duh, duh, duh. You forgot to dirty. Don't worry about it.
No, I said duh, duh, duh.
A little bit too late, but don't worry, I'll try again in a minute. Dr. Octopus looked around at all the supervillains. Electro, Kraven, Mysterio, Sandman, and Vulture. Each of us has fought Spider-Man, Doc Ock said, and each of us has lost. So...
Who's Duck?
Doc Ock is one of Spider-Man's... He's got like metal arms that comes out of him. He looks like an octopus.
That one.
Yeah, the one in the sunglasses, that's Doc Ock right there. There we go. So, Sandman growled, we all want to defeat Spider-Man, Doc Ock replied. And if we work together, we can. You have a plan, Mysterio said. Oh, yes, said Doc Ock. Now, at the same time, outside the Daily Bugle, Aunt May and Mary Jane arrived to meet Peter for lunch. There's Aunt May and Mary Jane meeting Peter for lunch. We all know that Peter is actually Spider-Man, don't we?
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
Who is Peter?
That's Peter right there,
That's not Peter.
isn't it?
That's
Oh, no,
a
it's not.
villain.
Sorry, that's not. No, sorry.
That's a villain.
Yeah, sorry. My
Who's
bad.
Sandman? Peter.
I don't know. We'll find out.
That's
But Sandman was outside the Daily Bugle. He needed 2 hostages to lure Spider-Man, and his sights were set on Aunt May and Mary Jane. Go, oh no!
Oh no!
Later, inside JJ's office, Peter learned the news. There's Peter Parker. Yeah, Spider-Man. Kidnapped? Saw it out the window, JJ replied, handing Peter a note. Says Spider-Man has to go to this address or else. Peter flew out the door. He knew he had to rescue them. Yay! Go, Spider-Man!
Go Spider-Man!
Very good. The address led Spidey to an abandoned laboratory. Suddenly, Spider-Man felt his spider sense tingling. He twisted just in time and a bolt of lightning shattered the ground where he'd been standing. There he is, moving away from the lightning. Wow, that's close.
Wow, that's close.
Electro, Spider-Man said. Electro smiled, stepping out of a doorway. How nice of you to remember. I've been looking forward to this. That's my Electro voice. Did you like it? Spider-Man leapt back. He landed high up on the wall, then jumped down as hard as he could. The web sling...
Who's that?
I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. The web-slinger's fist met Electro's chin. The villain fell to the ground. Sorry to be so serious, Spider-Man said. I'm kind of in a hurry. Spider-Man heard a low rumble. He looked up and saw a pair of leopards circling him. Kraven the Hunter, I presume, Spider-Man said. You are correct. Kraven stepped out from the shadows. My beasts are hungry, and it's feeding time. Nice kitties, Spider-Man said hopefully. Spiders don't taste so good. The giant cat's growls turned to shrieks as they leapt. Look, there's Kraven the Hunter with the cats. Go, naughty Kraven the Hunter.
Naughty Kraven the Hunter.
Go on.
naughty Craven Hunter.
That's very good. Well done, Thea. Spidey ducked. The cat...
Is your name Craig too?
Yeah, my name's Craig, but that's not Craig, that's Craven. Silly girl. Spidey ducked, the cat barely missing him. Almost, he teased, then Spidey shot a web that covered both leopards, and using his great strength, Spider-Man spun the leopards towards Craven. Not again, the villain cried as the big cat crashed into him. There he is, beating Craven. Go, yay, Spider-Man!
Yay, Spider-Man.
2 down!
2 down.
4 to go!
4 to go.
Electro, Craven, I wonder who's next, Spider-Man said. We are, said a familiar voice. Spider-Man looked up to see himself 3 times over. There's Spider-Man looking at himself 3 times. I reckon that's Mysterio, because he makes illusions, doesn't he? Yeah. Spider-Man, he wondered aloud, or is that Spider-Men? He shook his head. What am I talking about? How can there be other me's? Spider-Man was stunned. There was no way he could defeat himself, especially if it was 3 against 1. Go, oh no, Spidey!
Oh no, Spidey!
Wait a second, he said. Then he turned and burst through a large window nearby. How, Mysterio cried. It was the only word he had time to say. Spider-Man stood over the unconscious villain. I knew they couldn't be real, because as great as I am, even Spider-Man has to cast a shadow. He's beat Mysterio. Spider-Man barely noticed a quiet hissing sound behind him. He turned around to see Sandman appearing. Oh, I'm sorry, Spidey says. Was I standing on you? Just a second, smart guy, Sandman snarled. I'm going to be standing on you.
Who is...
That's Sandman. He's made out of sand.
Why him made out of sand?
Well, one day I'll read his origin story for you, but it's all to do with like an accident at the beach and all that sort of stuff. But Spider-Man bashed into the Sandman and quickly shot a web off to the side. Ha! Sandman said as he hit the ground. My sand can get out of any Spider-Man web.
Getting in sand.
Sandman, because he's made out of sand.
Yeah.
Hands up! Spidey yelled as he pulled on the web. No! Sandman cried. Sandman did. Look, no! I'm not saying it again. Sandman cried. As a truck full of cement covered him with the mixture, Spider-Man just covered Sandman with cement. Look, there he is. Say, ha, 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 ha. Bye-bye, Sandman.
Bye-bye, Sandman.
You lost, Sandman.
You lost, Sandman.
You might be able to eventually get out, Spider-Man called, but not for a while. Good thing he's not working alone then, said Vulture, as he slammed into Spider-Man from behind. That's Vulture. Vulture wears green and he can fly. Let's have a look. There's Vulture. Look, there's Vulture. Spider-Man's...
Why him made out green bits?
He's a naughty man. Oof, said Spider-Man.
Made out me?
Yeah. Well, they're more like feathers. Oof, said Spider-Man. And you can quote me on that. I don't mean to brag, Spider-Man continued, but when you've got reflexes as awesome as mine, well... Right before he smashed into the cement truck, Spider-Man reached and grabbed the Vulture. He flipped the villain over his head and then jumped onto the Vulture's back. Okay, I admit it, this is kind of fun, but I'm on a deadline, so he wrapped up the Vulture in a web. Don't go anywhere, Spider-Man said, and look at the picture again. There he is, covered in webbing. Say, bye, Vulture.
Bye, Vulture.
Now, I think there's only one left. There's only one villain left. Do we know who it is?
Yeah.
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock.
He's the one who planned it.
Well, Spider-Man said as he entered the laboratory.
Who planned it?
Yeah, he's the head naughty guy. That's 5 villains down. My guess is there's still one left to go. His spider sense tingled. Instantly, Spider-Man leapt up to the ceiling. Dr. Octopus's robot arms twizzled by, just missing him by millimeters. Go, uh-oh!
Uh-oh!
It doesn't take a genius to figure out who's behind this, Spider-Man said. Look, there he is, fighting Doc Ock in his big metal arms. Spider-Man fired off some webs. Doc Ock snorted. You know your spidey webs can't hold me. That's true, Spider-Man admitted. Not for long, at least, but they should last long enough for this. He pulled the mad scientist off his feet. No! Screamed Doc Ock as he fell into a large water tank. Look, there he is, falling into a large water tank. Go, ha, 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 ha. Oh, yes, Spidey said, watching the doctor's robotic arms slowly come to a halt.
Oh, yes.
Yes! Everyone go, yes!
Yes. 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 Yes.
I've got a plan, Craven mocked. Some plan. The plan worked perfectly, the Vulture said. If the plan was to get us all caught. You fools think you could have done better, Doc Ock grumbled. We could have hardly done any worse, Mysterio said. Maybe next time we... Oh, shut up, the others yelled. Well, that was interesting, Spider-Man said, looking down at his city. Look, there's the others all arrested. Say bye-bye, Sinister Six.
Bye-bye,
Sinister Six.
Have a nice time in jail.
Have a nice time in jail.
Well, that was interesting, Spider-Man said, looking down at the city. He smiled. Aunt May and Mary Jane are safe, and all 6 of the sinister villains are safely behind bars. Spider-Man shook his head. It's funny, but if they'd just worked together, I wouldn't have stood a chance. I guess it's a good thing they're all so selfish, as they all wanted to be the one that beat me. As he swung off, he laughed. Villains, they'll never learn. And that is the story of Spider-Man
It's a puzzle.
and how he beat the Sinister Six. Yeah, there is a puzzle, and we'll look at that later, but we're not going to look at it now. But there is a puzzle on the back page. Right, so guys, I hope you had a really nice time. No, we're not saying bye yet. Hope you had a really nice time watching that, listening to that story. Spider-Man. We read stories every single night on NSK TV, and we put 6 videos up a day. So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. And we'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new day's of programming. We'll see you again soon. Everyone say bye.
Bye.